Yuga Janera Jivana Vishwambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatha Hara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Para Jara Para Vishwanatha Sa Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gaura Kishora Vara Hari Bhajane Te Jara Mora Shri Varsavana Vivara Sara Sevya Seva Para Tara Daita Dasanama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupa Nuga Shri Keshava Bhakati Pragyana Gaudiya Vedanta Veta Maya Varatamanta Gaudavani Prachara Chardhama Pracharilo Gaudavani Bhakati Vedanta Swami Parelo Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Jivana Vanayana Gaudavani Tadil Pranadana E Savari Jana Gaurangera Nijana Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Vrindavanavasi Yato Vaishnaviraga Vandana Vandana Kori Chalavasi Yato Mahaprabhagana Omite Pariyavando Sabaracharana Navadvipavasi Jato Mahaprabhur Bhakta Savaracharana Vando Hoyanuragta Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gauri Nishistiti Savaracharana Vando Gauriya Pranati Ye Dese Dese Vaise Gaurangera Gana Or Babahu Kori Vando Savaracharana Hoya Chena Hoi Bena Prabhujato Dasa Savaracharana Vando Tante Korigasa Brahmandatarite Shakti Dare Jane Purane Gune Gai Jivasuni Mahaprabhur Gana Sabha Patita Pavana Tailo Vimoi Papilo Inushara Vandana Karite Mu Tume Buri Tatapi Mukera Bhagya Manera Ulas Dosakshami Moadame Karani Radasa Sarva Vancha Siri Oyama Vanda Chute Jagate Dorlava Oya Premadana Lute Manera Vasana Purna Ashirate Hoy Devaki Nandana Dasa Elovika Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Pasanatana Pata Raghunata Viriva Gopala Bhada Dasa Raghunata Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kori Sarpa Sadasri Adam Savatari Atyanta Dulabha Prema Kori Varidana Shikaya Saranagati Bhagaterava Dainya Atmani Vedana Gopchit Varana Araksha Rakshive Krishna Vishwasapalana Bhaktiyanukula Macha Kahira Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Vajanangira Sadanga Saranagati Hoi Vejahara Tahara Pratana Sune Shinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Pade Dante Trinakori Bhakati Vinoda Pade Upararori Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Adhama Shikaye Sharanagati Karo Eura Jaya Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaurari Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaurari Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaurari Sarpa Sada Jaya Gaurari Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga. I can do one, I guess. I'll sing. Oh. Samuki, you have one. I sing. Page 90. 90? Yeah. Kabe have eno rasamo Kabe have eno rasamo Kabe have eno rasamo Twaji Jadas Vibidha Bhanda Chadivo Samsarago Twaji Jadasa Vibidha Bhandana Chadivo Samsarago Have no dasamo. Vrindavana Vede Navadvipadam Badivokuti Rakani Vrindavana Vede Navadvipadam Badivokuti Rakani Sachidanandan Sharanashai Sachidanandana Charanashaya Sachidanandana Charanashai Charanashai Karivo Sambanamani Karivo Sandanati Have no dasamo Have no dasamo Janavi Puline Shintai Kanani Bosiavi Janastale Janavi Puline Chinmaya Kanani Bosiavi Janastale Krishna Namamrita Nirantara Pivo Nirantana pivo takivo goranga bole takivo goranga bole ha goranitai thoda dhuti bai patita janira bandhu ha goranitai thoda dhuti bai Pati jane Adhama patita Ami he dojana Ami patita Ami dojana Hai mora kripa sindhu Hai mora kripa sindhu Hai more kripa sindhu Hai more kripa sindhu Kadite kadite sola kroshadam Janavi ubhaya kule Kadite kadite sola kroshadam Janavi ubhaya kule Brahmite brahmite Kabu bhagya pale Bhamite bhamite Kabu bhagya pale Deke kichu taramule Deke kichu taramule Kabe ave no dasamo Kabe no Haha manoha Kedikenu ami Boli amor chitabo Haha manohara Kedikenu ami Boli amor chitahi Samvitapaya Kadivo gopane Samvitapaya Kaviva Gopane Smaridu Kripalavi Samarita Kripalavi Kave Ame Reno Dasamo Kave Reno Dasamo Jayanita Jaya Go Jayanita When will such a condition be mine? Upon renouncing my mundane desires and all varieties of bondage, I shall relinquish this dreadful material existence. I shall construct a small hut in Sri Navadvip Dham, which is none different from Sri Vrindavan. Recognizing my relationship with Sri Sachinandan, I shall take shelter of his lotus feet. Sitting in a solitary place within a transcendental forest on the bank of the Janavi River, Ganga, I shall continuously drink the nectar of Sri Krishna's name. Chanting the name of Gauranga, I shall call out, "O Gauranitai, both of you brothers are the friends of the fallen souls. I am the lowest of the low and very sinful, so please be an ocean of mercy to me." Weeping and weeping as I wander about the 16 kroshas, 32 square miles of the dome. It is. By both the Janavis, Ganga's banks, I shall by some good fortune behold a vision beneath a tree. O Manohar, enchanter of the mind, of my mind, what have I seen today? Saying this, I shall faint. After regaining consciousness, I shall weep in secret, remembering that drop of Shri Shri Gauranitai mercy. Thank God. I want to get a drop of Shri Shri Gauranitai mercy.
Page 190. No, sorry, 180. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Swarupa Yashoda Nandana Ananda Vardana Nanda Tanaya Rasakupa. Rasakupa Putana Gatana Chinavatahana Shakata Banjana Gopala. 180. Murali Vadana Gabaka Mardana Govardhana Dayakala. Govardhana Dayakala. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Keshi Mardana Brahma Vimohana Surapati Darpa Vinashi. Arishta Shatana Gopi Vimohana Jamuna Pulina Vilasi. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Aneka Swarupa Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Radhika Ranjana Rasa Rasayana Radha Kunda Kunja Bihari. Rama Krishna Hari Madhava Nara Hari Matsyari Gane Avatari. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Govinda Vamana Shri Madhusudana Yadava Chandravana Mali. Kaliya Shatana Gokula Ranjana Radha Bhajana Sukasali. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Ityarika Nama Swarupe Prakama Paduka Morarati Rage. Rupa Swarupa Pada Janini Jasampada Bhakti Vinoda Dori Mage. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Aneka Swarupa. Hari Nama Tua Aneka Swarupa. Jaya Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama. Hari Nama, Hari Jaya Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama, Hari Nama, Jaya Hari Nama. Nam Prabhu Ki. O Harinam, you possess unlimited forms. You are the darling son of Mother Yashoda, and you increase the bliss of Gokul. You are the beloved son of Nanda Maharaj, and you are a deep well of Ras. You are the slayer of the witch Putana, the killer of the demon Chinavarta, the destroyer of the demon Shakata, the cart demon, and the protector of the cows. You are the player of the flute, the subduer of the demons, Agasura and Bakasura, the lifter of Govardhan Hill, and a cowherd boy. You are the vanquisher of the demon Keshi. You bewilder Lord Brahma, and you destroy the pride of the king of the demigods, Lord Indra. You are the killer of the demon Arishta, the enchanter of the gopis, and the performer of playful pastimes on the banks of the Jamuna River. You are the delight of Shrimati Radhika. You are he who brings the elixir of life to the Rasa dance, and you are the enjoyer of pastimes in the kunjas at Radhakund. You are the reservoir of pleasure, the all-attractive one, the remover of inauspiciousness, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the half-man, half-lion incarnation known as Nishingadev, and the source of all other incarnations beginning with the fish Matsya. You are the protector of the cows, the dwarf Brahmin incarnation, the slayer of the demon Madhu, the moon of the Yadu dynasty, and he who wears beautiful garlands of fresh forest flowers. You are the punisher of the serpent Kaliya, the delighter of Gokul, and he who takes pleasure in worshipping and meditating on Srimati Radhika. Clasping the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Sarup Damodar, understanding them to be his sole assets, Bhaktivinoda humbly begs, may my love and attachment for all these forms of the holy name, which have appeared by their own sweet will, ever increase. Bhakti Thakur ki.
We passed that? Oh, okay. What do we on? Oh, Harinam, then Krishna. Oh, yeah, okay. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. 343. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Man manas madhukaram alpaya nijapada pankaja makarande. Manasa madhukaram alpaya bijapadam. Oh Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Yadyapi samadhi suvidirapi pasyati natava nakara marichim. Yadyapi samadhi suvidirapi pasyati natava nakara marichim. Idam ichami nishamya tava chutta tadapi kripa bhuta vichim. Idam ichami nishamya chutta tadapi kripa bhuta vichim. Bhakti rudan shati adapi madhava natvai mamati lamatri. Yerudan Jatiya Yapi Madhava Natvai Mamati Lamachi Parameshvara Tadapi Tavadika Durgata Gata Navidhatri Parameshvara Tadapi Tavadika Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. I am Avilo Jata Jata Sanata Kalita Bhuttara Sabaram. I am Avilo Lataya Jasanatana Kalita Bhuttara Sabaram. Nivasatu Nityami Hamrita Nindini Vinda Madhuri Masharam. Nindina Vindan Madhuri Masharam. Nivasatu Nityami Hamrita Nindini Vindan Madhuri Masharam. Oh Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Haribo. Jai Radharani.
Kalayatinayanam Deshi Deshi Valitam Pankajamivamnitu Maruta Chalitam Kalaya Maruta Kalayatinayanam Deshi Deshi Valitam Pankajamivamnitu Maruta Chalitam Keli vipinam pravishati radha pravishati Keli vipinam pravishati radha Pratipada samudita manasi japadha Pratipada samudita Kalayatinayanam Deshi Deshi Valitam Pankajamivamnitu Maruta Chalitam Deshi Valitam Vinidadhati mnitu mantharapada Nidadhati Rachayati kunjara Gatimanuvada Rachayati Kalayatinayanam Deshi Deshi Valitam Pankajamivamnitu Maruta Chalitam Kalayatinayanam Deshi Deshi Valitam Janayati Rudra Gajadhipamudita Janayati Rudra Gajadhipamudita Ramanandarai Kavi Gatitam Gatitam Kalayatinayanam देशे देशे वालितं पङ्कजमिव मृदु मारुतचलितं गणयतिनयनं जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय वृषभन नंदिनी राधे राधे वृषभन नंदिनी राधे राधे वृषभन नंदिनी राधे राधे जय वृषभन नंदिनी राधे राधे हस्त सखी शिरोमणि राधे राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे Radha's eyes glance in every direction, appearing like a lotus moving in a gentle breeze. After Radha enters the pastime forest, Kamadeva rises and obstructs her at every step. Her steps are slow and gentle, like the graceful gait of an elephant. May these words spoken by the poet Ramananda Roy bring happiness to Gajapati Maharaj Prataparudra. Mahamantra.
Oh, Wallet is here.
My God. Hare Krishna. So you play. Can I use the harmonium or it's too late? I can get. Hare Krishna. Merry Christmas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Madhavi Mataji. Hari Bol. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please everybody, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Oh Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Oh Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Oh Jaya Radha Raman Bihari Radha Raman Bihari Radhe. Raman Bihari Radha Raman Bihari Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shila Prabhupada. Oh Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Bol.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksuranmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah Yang Pravrajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayana Virahaka Taruajuhava Putri Ditanmayataya Taravo Benedus Tam Sarvabhu Taridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vihinai Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadi Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam De Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike Kripayati Yadi Radha Padida Sheshavada Kimaparavishishtam Pushti Maryadayorme Yadi Vadati Chakinshit Smeraha Sodita Shri Twijavadamani Panktya Mukti Shuktya Tadaki Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smeraha Samurali Manoha Radhikara Sikamam Kripanidhe Swapriya Charana Kinkarika Prananath Nandane Srimakabhya Salola Sadapada Radhika Padatale Kritastitim Tam bhajami rasikendra shekhara. Sambadaya rasin tam vibo. Prartaye brajamahendra nandana. Astu mohan tavati ballabha. Janma janmani mariswari priya. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Shilavakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Shilavakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shilavakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our Param Gurudev Shishimad Bhakti, Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and to the assembled devotees. Diksha Gurus, or my Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta, Van Maharaj and Shishimad Bhakti, Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj and Shishimad Bhakti, Vibhud Bodhayan Goswami Maharaj. So it seems that Gurudev is talking more and more, like if you go on the Gaudiya Rasamrita of today, the little video blip is Krishna's father Nanda Baba or is it Vasudev? And then Gurudev is proving that just sonhood or fatherhood does not make one more dear. What makes one more dear is the mamata, that Krishna is my son, my beloved, my friend. Not that I have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a son, because Gurudev was explaining when Vasudev prayed to Lord Narayan, the prayer was, I want you to be my son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what he got. He got half a son and half a God. But when Drona and Dada, who were Jashoda and Nanda, prayed, they wanted to have parental love for Krishna or for Narayan. But parental love means not having any idea that he's God, but just thinking he's my beloved son. And even a few other cowherd men say that he's God, because he lifted a mountain and did so many other magical things, therefore I shouldn't chastise him. Even if he's God, my duty is to chastise him so that he won't grow up too mischievously. So in other words, and another time Nanda Maharaj said to Krishna, because he was always naughty, he said, oh, I hear you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Well, here, take my worship. So that makes one more dear. It's the mamata, or the mindness. Who's more dear to Krishna? Yudhisthira Maharaj or Narada Muni? Why? A family connection, which makes him more higher. Even though Narada Muni can fly around the universes, it doesn't make him closer. Narada Muni has to go to the Pandavas' house, not even to see Krishna, but to see the Pandavas, because they're such great, intimate devotees. Even Arjuna was complaining to Krishna that, aren't I your friend? Aren't I already surrendered, and you're speaking to me in the Gita about surrender? The gopis complained when Krishna sent Uddhava to speak about Bhagavad Tattva, that you don't need to feel separation from me because you're always with me. Just like a earthen pot is made of earth, so you're made of me. No need to feel separation. And so the gopis complained that you're speaking to PhDs, some ABCs. We don't want to meditate on you. We actually want to forget you. So here, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that we began yesterday, because in the Srimad Bhagavatam we've been reading about Krishna in Dwarka and how Krishna's wives received him by first sending their sons forward, and how even though they had so many coquettish glances and such sweetness and beauty and opulence, still Krishna was not enchanted by them. But in Vrindavan, the gopis are making some pearl necklaces and during Holi, and Krishna comes and says, "Can I have some pearls for my cows?" And they go like this. Like, here's the batch of pearls. And so Krishna has to force the issue. It's not that they don't want to give the pearls. They want to give everything. But because of their love, Krishna has to snatch things from them. So, what were we reading last? That Mahaprabhu was asking Swarup Damodar to explain about the different types of man of the gopis. And he's explaining that there are so many sets of three, like Mugdha, Madhya, Pragalbha, and rightist, in between, leftist. So where we left off was he was explaining about the the ingredients, the symbolic ingredients of their love and their man, which has two varieties. What are the two varieties? With a cause and without a cause. Sa hetu, with a cause man, and ahaite, hetu, without a cause man, which is easier to break than the one that's with the cause. So now, Swarup Damodar Goswami is continuing. There are 8 symptoms of ecstatic love on the platform of transcendental jubilation, and when they are combined and tasted by Krishna, the Lord's mind is completely satisfied. Ah, my life is successful. It's not that I am satisfied, but it's that type of satisfaction. Indeed, they are compared to a combination of yogurt, candy, ghee, honey, black pepper, camphor, and cardamom, which, when mixed together, is very tasty and sweet. Krishna is thousands of times more satisfied when he sees Radharani's face light up from this combination of ecstatic symptoms than by direct union with her. And now this quote from one of the scriptures. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is quoting from, hopefully, Ujjvala Nilamani, Gita Govinda. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakinshit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. it's stated that without the amorous affairs of Radha and Krishna, this whole universe would be, huh? No, you said something? Pointless, useless. So may the sight, Krishnadas Kaviraj is quoting, may the sight of Srimati Radhika's Kilakinshit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. When Krishna blocked her way to the Dan Gati, remember that? He was taxing her. I have to tax your butter and yogurt and ghee. There was laughter within her heart. Her eyes grew bright. Fresh tears flowed from her eyes, reddening them. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna, her eyes were enthusiastic, and when her crying subsided, she appeared more beautiful. Like, how dare you? How dare you tax us? Is this forest yours? Did your father plant anything here? No, all you do is trample everything with your cows. We're the ones who planted everything here. Second verse. Agitated by tears, her eyes were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon at sunrise. In fact, the eastern horizon at sunrise gets its luster from her eyes. What comes from what? Everything comes from Vrindavan, from Radha and Krishna. What's the verse that everything comes from them? Jan Ma Dyasayaton Vayad Itrates. What? I forgot. Swarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Moyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Varimurdam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trishargo Murshad Tamna Svena Sada Nirastakuakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. This is a definition of the absolute truth, and it's the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1, describing the absolute truth. Do you remember the translation? Are you? Are you better? Are you worse? Okay. So the absolute truth, from the absolute truth, everything comes. Everything rests in the absolute truth, and everything enters him at the time of dissolution. He is conscious of everything, the big the atomic things and the greatest things. He's indirectly and directly conscious. And it's because of him that even the great demigods, like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are bewildered as to what is real and to what is not real. Just like one may see a mirage in the desert, an appearance of water in the desert, or fire on the water, or land in the fire. One is bewildered about reality, even the great demigods. And he first spoke this Vedic wisdom into the heart of Brahma, if you get the lowest translation, and Shukadeva Goswami, if you get a higher translation, and Rupa Goswami, if you get the highest translation, this Vedic knowledge. So I worship that absolute truth who forever lives in his own abode. What abode is that? Goloka Vrindavan, which is forever free from illusion, no Maya in Goloka Vrindavan. So agitated by tears, her eyes were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon. Just like even one time Krishna, it was Krishna and the gopis standing there, and Krishna was criticizing Radharani, who stole all the best beauty of all the most beautiful things in Vrindavan, like the lotus flowers, and what else? The beauty, the sound of the bees, everything that's beautiful in Vrindavan. She's better because she's actually the source of it. And so he was criticizing. This is, criticism, or rather praise, in the guise of criticism. Her eyebrows curved, and her lotus-like face smiled mildly. Seeing her face exhibit such emotions, Krishna felt 1,000,000 times happier than when he embraced her. Indeed, his happiness is not at all mundane. Upon hearing this, Mahaprabhu became very happy, and being absorbed in this happiness, he embraced Swarup Damodar Goswami. He asked him, "Please speak of the ecstatic ornaments decorating the body of Srimati Radhika, by which she enchants the minds of Govinda." Being thus requested, Swarup Damodar began to speak. All the devotees were happy to hear him. Sometimes, when Srimati Radharani is sitting, or when she's going to Vrindavan, she sometimes sees Krishna. Why did it say go to Vrindavan? Doesn't she live there? Doesn't she live in Vrindavan? She lives in Yavat. The symptoms of various ecstasies that become manifest at that time are called vilas. We already heard about Kilakanchita Bhav, the 7 contradictory ecstatic symptoms that come up at the same time. And now this is the symptom of vilas. The various symptoms manifest on a woman's face, eyes, and the other parts of her body, and the way she moves, stands, or sits when she meets her beloved is called vilas. Does anybody remember any of that? The way she stands, the way she sits, the way she moves. When she meets Krishna, that's called vilas. The symptoms manifested on her face, eyes, and other parts of her body, and the way she sits, stands, moves. It's called vilas, when she meets him. He said, timidity, jubilation, ambition, respect, fear, the characteristics of a left-wing gopi, were all ecstatic symptoms combined to agitate her. She's experiencing her own symptoms and becoming agitated. When she saw Krishna just before her, her progress stopped, like she couldn't move. And she assumed an attitude of opposition. Although her face was slightly covered by a blue garment, her 2 starry eyes were agitated, being wide and curved. Thus she was decorated with the ornaments of vilas, and her beauty increased to give pleasure to Krishna. When Radharani and the gopis' beauty is increased, then Krishna's pleasure is increased, and his beauty is also increased by his pleasure being increased. Even anybody, when they're happy, like Janaki who comes here, when she looks very like that, she looks one way, but as soon as she smiles, she becomes beautiful. So what to speak of Radharani? When Radharani stands before Krishna, she also stands bent in 3 places: neck, waist, legs, and her eyebrows dance. I'm not going to try and imitate it. When there's an awakening of various ecstatic features on her face and her eyes, the Lalita ornaments are manifest. Lalita means like enchanting or charming. When the bodily features are delicate and expertly curved, and when the eyebrows are very beautifully agitated, the ornament of charm, called Lalita Alankar. Alankar means ornament, is manifest. But Alankar doesn't mean a physical golden or jeweled ornament. It's an ornament of a sentiment. When Krishna happens to see her decorated with these Lalita ornaments, they both anxiously want to meet each other. When Srimati Radharani was decorated with the ornament of Lalita Alankar, this is from Govinda Lilamrita. Just to increase Krishna's love, an attractive curve was manifested by her neck, knees, and waist. This is brought about by her timidity and apparent desire to avoid him. The flickering movements of her eyebrows could conquer the powerful bow of Cupid. To increase the joy of her beloved's love, her body was decorated with the ornaments of Lalita Alankar. So, this is Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita. There was a big, big marathon. The first few years, from 72 to 74, or maybe 5, everything was going on at a normal pace with the devotees who are working on the book, namely the transcribers, the editors, those who are working in the, the dark room, those who are making plates. In those days, it wasn't like today, where in a second you get your book. And the artists. But then in 1975, in Los Angeles, Prabhupada expressed unhappiness that the 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita were coming out so slow. So he said, I want these books to come out. There was already a few volumes out. But now he said, I want the rest of the volumes, 17 volumes, to come out in the next 2 months. And the BBT trustee at the time, Ramaswara Prabhu, he said, that is impossible. So what did Prabhupada say? Yes, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. So they called anybody who had anything to do with how to make a book. They called everybody from around the world to Los Angeles, and the marathon began. Well, that's not the main point. The main point is that why was he in a hurry? Because he wanted them distributed everywhere, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that's this, what I'm reading now. And I'm trying to dredge my memory here. he said, I wrote to him and I said, so there's like a debate going on with the members of your book publication and distribution, whether these books are just for the scholars or for the masses. And Prabhupada wrote me back that this book, all my books, should be distributed to all classes of men. When Krishna comes forward and greedily snatches at the border of Radharani's sari, she is actually very pleased within, but overtly she tries to stop him. So the thing is about the Acharya's books, there's two aspects of their books. It's either one book is meant for a particular reader, and another book is meant for another reader. And one part of a book is meant for one reader, and another part of his book, like this is Rathayatra, another part of his book is meant for another reader. Or one part of book is meant for a particular reader at a particular time, and another part of the book is meant for the reader at that time, at a later date. So, for example, I wasn't really reading this particular part of the book until later. So when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was contemplating, should I write this book or not? Well, if I don't write it, well, it's okay if I write it. I mean, I shouldn't write it because it's so elevated. But then again, I should write it because really only the cuckoos will be attracted. And the crows, they won't be attracted. So there's no really problem. You know the difference between a cuckoo and a crow? The crow, he likes to go where all the rubbish is. You see them in the garbages. And the cuckoo, he likes to go to the sweet mangoes. So now we're coming to Kutamita sentiments. The ecstatic dress of Radharani is called Kutamita. Kutamita. When it is manifest, she externally tries to avoid Krishna, and she apparently becomes angry, although she's very happy within. Yeah. Well, it does seem so, because let's see what the next verse says. When the border of her sari and the cloth veiling her face are caught, she externally appears offended. How dare you touch my dress? Offended and angry. But within her heart, she's very happy. Learned scholars call this attitude Kutamita. Although she was checking her sari, like with her hand, internally she was thinking, let Krishna satisfy his desires. In this way, she was very pleased within, although she externally displayed opposition with anger. She externally displays a kind of dry crying, as if she's offended. Then she mildly smiles and admonishes Krishna. Prabhupada said you could admonish somebody if you have priti or love, not like somebody who says, well, I admonished them with love, but somebody who really has love, like Mother Yasoda. When Krishna is very naughty, she says, may I beat you? Gurudev said, if you criticize someone without that priti, then gradually you lose all fear of criticizing and admonishing. And then your heart will become like a stone. Another time he said, then you'll start criticizing. If you're criticizing like some other person for criticizing Gurudev, instead of criticizing the points, if you criticize the person, then you'll end up criticizing your own godbrothers, and then you'll end up criticizing Guru, and then you'll end up criticizing Krishna, which is what happened to a person. That's why Gurudev said that at that time. A person who was criticizing the person rather than the point of someone who was criticizing Gurudev. This is all internet. I mean, Gurudev's lecture was live, but the counter-criticism was internet. She actually has no desire to stop Krishna. Krishna's endeavor to touch her body with his hands. Yet, and now we can pray if we have any problem here. I asked Gurudev if I could read a certain elevated book. And he said no. I said, well, what about the parts that don't have any amorous stuff, like when she's in the kitchen cooking breakfast? He said, no, don't touch anything, or you may be destroyed. So some years later I asked him, and he said, yes, but very carefully, praying to Yogamaya, please protect me from any material thoughts. And if any material thoughts come, please take them away. And he also suggested, if any material thoughts come, put the book down. So actually she has no desire to stop Krishna's endeavor to touch her body with his hands. Yet, she, whose thighs are like the trunk of a baby elephant, protests his advances and, sweetly smiling, admonishes him. At such times, she cries without tears on her charming face. In this way, I'm waiting for Srivas to come and counter that. Try to counter it. In this way, she's ornamented and decorated with various ecstatic symptoms which attract the mind of Krishna. Do you remember what they are? Anybody? Vilas. Kutamita. Kanchita Bhav. Good. It is not at all possible to describe the unlimited pastimes of Krishna, even though he himself describes them in his incarnation as Anantadev, or also called Sahasra Vadana, means like thousands of heads. You know who Ananta is, right? Everybody know? Okay. You're such a scholarly group. This time, finally, Srivas Thakur smiled and told Damodar Pandit, my dear sir, please hear. Just see how opulent my goddess of fortune is. As far as Vrindavan's opulence is concerned, it consists of a few flowers and twigs, some minerals from the hills, a few peacock feathers, and the plant known as Gunja. You all know the Gunja Mala, right? No? Did you ever see on the altar, there's this tiny black seed? Yeah, with little bit of red on it. Right, okay. When Jagannath decided to see Vrindavan, he went there, and upon hearing this, the goddess of fortune experienced restlessness and jealousy. She wondered, why did Lord Jagannath give up so much opulence and go to Vrindavan? To make him a laughing stock, the goddess of fortune made arrangements for much decoration. Then the maidservants of the goddess of fortune said to the servants of Lord Jagannath, which you saw yesterday, why did your Lord Jagannath abandon the great opulence of the goddess of fortune and, for the sake of a few leaves, fruits, and flowers, go to the flower garden of Srimati Radharani? Your master is so expert at everything, but why does he do such things? Please bring your master before the goddess of fortune. In this way, all the maidservants of the goddess of fortune arrested the servants of Jagannath, bound them around the waist, and brought them before the goddess of fortune. When all the maidservants brought Lord Jagannath's servants before the lotus feet of the goddess of fortune, the Lord's servants were fined and forced to submit. Like, so what? What is this to us about the maidservants of Jagannath and binding them in their waist? What does it have to do with us and our life? Sarada? You look like you're wondering. Okay. Anybody can help her out? Huh? Okay.
We have to learn about 8 in order to understand 10. And we have to learn about 8 in order to understand 10. If we just hear about 10, then we won't understand the greatness of 10.
This is 10.
Oh, I thought Lakshmi was like 8 and Radha was like 10.
Oh, she is, but it's in the same story.
Okay.
All right, so we are, this is our life. What? Want to say something? We are not this body. We are maidservants of Radharani. We are servants of Krishna. So this is who we really are. Like we grow up from babyhood. Oh, you're so cute. And yes, this is your mommy, I'm your mommy. And here's your daddy. And here's your uncle and aunt. And now let's have a party because it's your first birthday. And let's give you all the presents and let's blow the thing. And we're what's the word, barraged with this nonsense, unless your parents are devotees, like you didn't grow up like this. No, he's the only one around here who didn't grow up in this crazy, insane way. So, this is our life. Lord Jagannath is our Lord. Radharani is we want to see her defeating Krishna. We want Krishna to be subordinate. And we're also in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was laughing. He was in the audience, remember? He was in the audience. They gave them, Mahaprabhu and his associates, they gave him seats because they wanted to have another festival that was even more opulent, that is Hare Panchami, more opulent than the Rath Yatra festival. So he was just laughing at all this. And he was, of course, he was more happy with Swarup Damodar than he was with Srivas. But it was a funny thing to see Srivas defending somebody who was a loser from the beginning. It's like he didn't hear a word. He didn't hear a word like Swarup Damodar that he said. But Swarup Damodar is going to start proving his point. Finally, All of Lord Jagannath's servants submitted to the goddess of fortune, that is opulence, Dwarka. The servants of Jagannath, this is in Gundicha, they had to submit to her, assuring her that they would bring him back the next day. Did they? No. It took 5 days to get back. And Mahaprabhu was thinking, when he was going back to Dwarka, or what's the name of that temple? No, they went to Gundicha. Now they're going back to Nilachala, to Krishna, Jagannath's temple. And now then they went to Sundarachala, which is Gundicha. And then when Mahaprabhu went back, he was still thinking he was going to Vrindavan, not back to Dwarka. So he enjoyed the trip back as well.
You said this is Dwarka. Jagannath's servants are Dwarka, or Lakshmi is Dwarka?
Lakshmi is Dwarka. She represents the 16,000 queens. And when Krishna went to the Gundicha temple, Lord Jagannath, Dwarkadish Krishna, and then he wasn't in the palace of Dwarka, or where did my husband go? Why did he go to Gundicha and neglect me? You get it? You get it? Okay, it's all symbolic of Dwarka versus Vrindavan, the Rath Yatra festival. Because as we read it a couple of days ago, even though Krishna enjoys in Dwarka with his queens, once a year he becomes unlimitedly desirous to go back to Vrindavan. So he makes a trick, and they have this bathing ceremony when Lord Jagannath is away from the throne. It's because they have this 15-day bathing ceremony, and Snana Yatra, not 15 days, but then he has to go away for 15 days because he gets sick. And so then he has to go to take a break and, rest himself up. There's so many tricks. Being thus pacified, the goddess of fortune returned to her apartment. Just see, my goddess of fortune is opulent beyond description. Srivas Thakur continued to address Swarup Damodar. But he wasn't only addressing him, he was addressing the whole assembly. Your gopis are engaged in boiling milk and churning it into yogurt. But my mistress sits on a throne made of jewels and gold. So who was he enjoying the mood of as he was speaking? Narada Muni, good. Thus made jokes. Hearing him, all the personal servants of Mahaprabhu began to smile. Mahaprabhu then told Srivas, "My dear Srivas, your nature is exactly like that of Narada Muni. The Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulence is having a direct influence on you. Swarup Damodar, he's a pure devotee. In Vrindavan, he doesn't even know what opulence is." This is the example. Who gave it yesterday? Atul? Or you, Haridas? About the 2 pounds of salt and the 2 pounds of sugar. He doesn't even know what opulence is, even though the gopis have more opulence than in Dwarka. He doesn't know what opulence is, for he's simply absorbed in pure devotional service. Swarup Damodar said, "My dear Srivas, please hear me with attention. You have forgotten the transcendental opulence of Vrindavan. The natural opulence of Vrindavan is just like an ocean. The opulence of Dwarka and Vaikuntha is not even compared to a drop. And we're going to end here. And there's more left. It's a lot. Actually, this much left. Okay. There's no urgent questions, I imagine. Yes.
Just can you help me understand?
I doubt it. I need help myself.
And can you help me understand how you mentioned the relevance to us today? You said, "Oh, because we're gopis," and also, and because this is Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. So
And he is our life and soul.
Are we hearing this then as like this is
We're hearing it as wannabes.
Okay.
Want to be realized in this.
Oh, okay.
Because that's why, hey, do any of you know why you were created?
Oh, for a loving relationship. Because why does a father have a son?
Right? What kind of loving relationship?
A deep and intimate one.
Don't be so abstract.
Oh, we have an inherent swarup that is completely unchanging. It's in our original
You're too
form.
abstract.
Oh.
Manjari Bhav. Okay, good. That's why we were created. That's who we are. So by hearing, we can undo the hearing that we had for so many years. That's the process. To hear, chant, remember. Gaur Premanandi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Shivas Pandit ki jai, Shri Swarup Damodar ki jai, Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Premanandi. So Narottam Das Thakur's Mridanga could play Sri Krishna Chaitanya, actually. And Isham Prabhu's body can be a Mridanga. Okay. Okay. Mahaprasade. Jai Shri Guru Garangan Dharvika Giri Hari Shri Radhavana Hari Ji Ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Maharaj Ki Jai, Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Paramesti Gurudev Ki Jai, Parapara Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Bhagavat Mahaprasad Seva Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. Let's not put alcohol in the